The African Peer Review Mechanism CEO, Professor Eddy Maloka, says that the continental body is working hard to ensure that more African countries subject themselves to good governance in the continent. Maloka says that democracy should work for the people to avoid military coups in Africa. Well, he spoke to SABC News at the African Peer Review Mechanism gathering as it comes to an end in Johannesburg. And Khayelihle Khumalo has more.
Last day of the African Peer Review Mechanisms gathering here in Johannesburg. A lot has been discussed in the continent when it comes to the issues of good governance, the issue of making sure that the wave of democratization is realized in the African continent. And joining us now is the CEO of the APRM, Prof. Maloka. So once again, Prof, quite a very important day, final day for the APRM, and a lot has happened. We've seen the heads of states coming to look at all these critical issues in Africa. Are we seeing a headway in terms of making sure that we are seeing the results at the end of the day?
Definitely, one result we are seeing that your birthday is competing with our 20th anniversary. And I want to join all your friends like me to say happy birthday, my brother. You made us and wish you all the best. And really for me, one big message that comes out of here, we saw two presidents coming together from two different countries, one from West Africa, another from Southern, both of them committing themselves and rejecting dictatorship, rejecting undemocratic governance. So it's very, very important because in the past, this was not the case in Africa. What was common was for leaders who thought all these were external and foreign ideas, but now you have leaders in Africa who talk freely about the importance of democracy, good governance, and they themselves commit themselves that myself, as long as I'm in this position, this is how I'm going to lead my country. So for me, I think this was a very important message that came out of this exercise.
And once again, Prof, what is very important, for example, President Ramaphosa speaking about the importance for more countries to accede to the APRM mechanism, for them to improve in all these critical areas, to make sure that we see the culture of good governance really just becoming a norm in the continent.
No, definitely the issue of universal accession. The good thing is that I went to one country and the president said, he's a professor actually, we were talking and then he said, I can't believe we didn't join. I've always thought, I said, no, President, you are not. He said, it's happening now. So I'm going to another country also. So the presidents out there, they want to join. So you have a category that we need to mobilize and get into the APRM. The second challenge is to making sure that when countries are to have joined, let them utilize the APRM, let them subject themselves to the reviews. So we do a lot of work there. And then the third challenge is that once they've gone out through these reviews, let them utilize the recommendations. So for me, the big challenge moving forward, the APRM of the future, is working on this third segment, making sure that the countries benefit from APRM processes by implementing the recommendations out of the exercise.
And while we still have you, Prof, I mean, this is quite a very important month in the African continent. One of the most significant countries like the DRC going to the elections in a matter of few days or so. And we know this is a country facing a myriad of challenges, whether insecurity, the issues of women, and many other problems as well facing the DRC.
No, the DRC, well, I was a special advisor of Envoy of South Africa to the Great Lakes region during the period of President Kabila. I know during that period when they were going to election, there was all this suspense, anticipation of, I can tell you that the Congolese have been through this now, that what we thought will happen in the transition between President Kabila to President Tshisekedi did not happen. I can tell you that I believe that the Congolese value the peace and the stability they have now more than the opposite. And then as to the situation on the eastern part of the DRC, the situation around some of these rebel groups, it's a regional problem. It's a regional issue and you need countries of the region through the mechanism, there's a mechanism there to attend to this challenge. But I don't think necessarily it will hamper election because it's something that has been happening there for quite some time. It's related to dynamics around that part of the Eastern DRC. But as to the elections, they will happen. There will be suspense, there will be anticipation of this and that. But I believe that the Congolese, in their wisdom, collectively as a nation, they will know that the alternative to what they have achieved and what they have done in the past is not an option.
Prof, thank you so much indeed for your time. And of course, quite a very remarkable occasion, 20th anniversary for the APRM, and looking at a host of challenges facing the African continent, but also looking at some of the milestones as well that have been achieved in the African continent. Khayelihle Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.